Every now and then, Congress checks in with different parts of government. It's called an oversight hearing, and it's usually just congressmen or senators asking heads of agencies routine questions, which, as you can imagine, isn't always the most interesting.
SCVP does not have the statutory authority to close non-compliant schools immediately, nor does it have the authority to restrict DSO access to SEVIS.
DSO access to SEVIS? That clip was so boring that the first time I watched it, I went and lined up at the DMV just to feel alive again. But you see, in the age of Trump, nothing is what it's supposed to be. Everything is flipped around. Fast food is healthy. Tonya Harding is a hero. Mitt Romney is the one that got away. And oversight committee hearings might as well now be on WorldStar.
That's unacceptable to me. There are threats in this country. People plotting. I receive enough death threats to know the reality.
Whoa, death threats? What happened to the DSO access to SEVIS? What happened to that? C-SPAN viewers yesterday must have had a heart attack, because normally C-SPAN is like the herbal tea of television, right? But this was more like butt-chugging espresso. That espresso joke proudly brought to you by Nespresso. Nespresso, they look like butt plugs, but they're not. Unless they are. Now, you might have seen the Cory Booker video because it went viral, but how did the Senate nice guy turn into the Caramel Hulk? Well, the Senate Judiciary Committee was already scheduled to meet with Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielson. And as fate would have it, Secretary Nielson happened to have been in the last week meeting. Remember last week's meeting, the infamous Oval Office shithole meeting? Yeah, which turned out to be something many of the senators wanted to discuss, and something she definitely did not.
What do you remember the president saying about immigration from African countries to the United States?
There were about a dozen people in the room. There were a lot of cross conversations. There was a lot of rough talk by a lot of people in the room. I remember specific cuss words being used by a variety of members. What I was struck with, frankly, as I'm sure you were as well, was just the general profanity that was used in the room by almost everyone.
Secretary Nielson makes it sound like Trump was just hosting a giant rap battle. It's like, yeah, come on, come on. My name is Donald, and everybody knows. I don't want people if they're from the shitholes. Yeah. Take it away, Mike Pence. I feel like Mike Pence only raps the radio edit. Oh, you mother in the, and you can't in the, and that's why I don't yeah. How'd I do, mother? And get this. In fact, apparently, according to Nielsen, the only person who was making any sense in the meeting was her boss, President Trump.
What I understood him to be saying is, let's move away from the countries and let's look at the individual and make sure that those we bring here can contribute to our society.
Okay, she's definitely paraphrasing Trump, because he doesn't speak like that. Like, he's not that smart. Like, he's pick-a-rhino smart, but not that smart. Like, sometimes I think Trump is like Groot and all the Republicans are like the raccoon, because all he says is like, no blacks, and his team has to translate that into policy. No blacks. What the president means is that a merit-based system would enrich our nation's human capital. No blacks? The president thinks that cutting Medicaid will encourage hard work. No blacks. He doesn't want black people. I mean, look. I get that Nielsen wants to pretend that the president wasn't being racist, but at times yesterday, her loyalty just made her look really loyal.
What does he mean when he says he wants more immigrants from Norway? Norway is a predominantly white country, isn't it?
I actually do not know that, sir, but I imagine that is the case.
And now you're playing like you don't know that Norway's a white country? Come on, really? Norway defines white. Billy Joel concerts look at Norway and go, damn, that country's white.